Hello, hello. We are here on this Saturday. No, sorry, Sunday actually. It is actually Sunday. We are here for a live wrestling gossip. As we have on the thumbnail, we have Bishop Khan. What more do we want to see from him? Is this the demand with Ricochet? Is this all we see for Bishop Khan? And we also want to talk about Bianca Belair and an update with her. Did have some news regarding Tegan Knox, I guess, former WWE star that always gets injured. Apparently, she and her girlfriend didn't realize that she had a girlfriend. I knew she was bisexual, but her and her girlfriend refusing to lose. Yeah. Nixon, Noel, and Miranda Elias. So let's talk about that real fast. Happy Sunday. Let's talk about that. Just see, I have some chats. Let me respond. Hello, hello. How are you? I'm doing good. How are you, Anthony? Hello, happy Sunday. Robert, nice talking to you. Oh, Lafayette, Indiana in the building. How are you? We're talking about some wrestling gossip. Did you hear about the Tegan Knott situation? Sorry, I do know she goes by another name, but I'm sorry, that's all I know her as. I went to St. John's basketball. We lost. I'm sorry to hear that. Are you a basketball fan? I don't really watch basketball that much, so I do apologize. I really don't know much about St. John's. Is that a local team? But let's get Miss Nixon Noel, whatever her name is, her and her girlfriend. I do want to put them in the hot seat. I do want to put Nixon Noel and Miranda in the hot seat. So let's do that. Let's put these two in the hot seat. I am getting better with this. It shouldn't take that long. Oh, you know what? I didn't add my thumbnail. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Mm-mm-mm. Add that in the corner. Because this is what we're talking about tonight. Well, is it night yet? I wouldn't consider it night. There's that, but let's put these two girls who think they're like Sasha Banks and Naomi. They don't have the star power to be making these kind of moves, to be honest with you. They don't really have the star power. Again, Tegan Knox, who I used to know her as. Okay, so let's get down to it. Okay, what did I save this as? Let me look real fast. I'm sorry. All right. I didn't know about the Tina Knott situation. Oh yeah, we about to talk about that in a minute. You know what? Let me put the article up. You know what? I let me not be like that. Usually I like to put the article up before I read it. So let me snippet it. I think it's Command Shift 3. Getting a little bit better with this. But let's put it, I will read it. So thank you for your honesty. You haven't even heard about it yet. So let's read about it real fast. Recent. Here you guys go. So here it goes. I know it's going to block me. Whenever I talk about someone negative, they like to block me from talking about them. Like, what I mean by block is like be all over the screen. So Nixon, Noel, Miranda, Eliza walk out of AEW. I am about to read this article. This is the two ladies that are in the hot seats. This is from Cage Side Seats. This is from Cage Side Seats. Usually they are a trusted source. Well, we try to believe what they say. So let me start reading this article, by the way. So here you guys go. Sorry, again, things look different on my end towards yours. Really don't like the red and green. They remind me of those two chicks from TNA that I don't like with the green and red hair. Remember I said I don't like these people? That was in my TNA review. this week. So let me see. Sorry, trying to edit something real fast, but let me start reading. It was just a couple weeks ago that Nixon Noel, who may be more well known wrestling for WWE under the name Tegan Knox, and her girlfriend Miranda Elias debuted together in AEW on Collision, with the Women's World Tag Team Championship just around the corner. You know what? I should have an image of them. More for the dramatics. Let's have a photo of them while we read the article. Okay, I didn't know. Yes, SmackDown is a mess. Well, the viewerships allegedly, last week they didn't even meet 1 million viewers. This new system that they're using to show viewerships is hurting wrestling. So maybe this is why. Because, like you said, Anthony, you think it sucks. A lot of people think it sucks, so they're not watching. Oh, nice to hear. Is it snowing where you guys are, Robert? By the way, it's snowing here in Michigan. Can you believe it, Anthony? Is it snowing? I think you're in Florida, aren't you? Oh, that's fine if you go off topic sometimes. I mean, I'm not someone that likes to just focus on a certain topic and just stick to that. So I've met some before. The most recent one I would say is Britt Baker. I met her, took a photo with her. I do go to cons sometimes when I have the energy, but I do go to some cons and I try to support those that I like. So I did recently meet Britt Baker at the beginning of the year. One of my favorites was Matt Riddle. I know a lot of people talk about him. I do like him a lot, so I met him a couple times. Bret the Hitman Hart, met him maybe like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, took a picture with him. The Hardy Boys, I met them when no, it was just Jeff Hardy, my bad. Jeff Hardy, I did meet him when I was working for the airport, have a picture with him. This was years ago, maybe like 8 or 10 years ago at this point when I was working at the airport. Who else? I have a whole wrestling wrestlers I met folder on my phone. Sometimes I don't include everyone. Okay, so now that I want to look for it, now, with all these updates, it's kind of hard to keep up. Like, I don't even know anymore how to look for my albums. It's just too much after a while. Like, some of my stuff has photos. Oh, here it is. So here's one. Again, you'll see like some of these are like bigger, clearly, because I didn't lose weight then. But here's one with Trish Stratus. Oh, you know what? This is not good lighting. Let me put it on the big screen. But I will say this. The most prettiest person I've ever met where I was just flattered or I was just starstruck would probably be Trish Stratus. She's very, very, very beautiful in real life. I will say that. Britt Baker, also beautiful. I don't want to take that away from her. She's very beautiful in real life as well. But Trish Stratus will be the one that is the most star-stunning one, probably because I grew up watching her. I will say Brandy Rhodes, also I met her before, took a picture. Very pretty. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the photo. Mickey James, met her. Lita, met her, took a photo. When I say these people, that means I took a photo with them and I paid. Jeff Hardy, I didn't have to pay because he met me at the airport while I was working. Kofi Kingston, another one, met at the airport. This was March 23rd, 2019. So again, years ago. The Acclaimed, I met them. Took a photo with them. That was at WrestleCon a couple years ago. Sienna and Marty, met them at an indie event. So those are just some. Sammy Guevara, very handsome. Met him, love him. So what about you, Robert? Did you meet anyone? But let's get back to this article. Speaking of Sammy Guevara, and it's always, of course, you guys can always interject and say something that's off topic again. I'm not like straight in, oh my God, let's just talk about this and that I'm talking about. No. So sometimes you guys can say things. So I do thank you. But those are some wrestlers I didn't meet, Robert. But speaking of Sammy Guevara, there goes his wife. We see her with the cheetah. There goes Anna. And there goes Tegan Knox and her girlfriend. Remember, allegedly, these are the people that said we are not fucking losing. We are the baddest bitches. We have our red and green hair. We are not going to lose, baby. We just made our debut. So let's keep reading about this article. Again, it reminds me of Sasha Banks and Naomi. Just not a lot of pull or weight. They can replace them easily. So let's read. So it was just a couple weeks ago that Nixon, Noelle, and her girlfriend made her debut in Collision. With the Women's World Tag Team Championship tournament just around the corner, they were there to challenge Anna Jay and Tay Mello, which we see them. We saw that little tease between the two tag teams. No date was set at the time, but the bout was scheduled to take place on this week's episode. It never did because Noelle and Elias walked out of the company. That's according to multiple reports. PW Insiders initially reported the duo refused to lose the match after losing in their official debut last week. Later, they posted a new report on the back of Noelle commenting on her ex account that not everything you read is true. Okay, so she like, you know what? I'm not about to get blackballed. I don't want that name. That I'm difficult. We heard that with Kyle O'Reilly. What's her name? Kyle Ray, the lady that keeps quitting or has anxiety issues, and then she finally didn't have the anxiety issues. She won the Evolve Women's Championship belt. Then she got pregnant, and now she's done for. So again, I guess she doesn't want that name for her. So later, they posted a new report on the back of Noelle commenting on her ex account that not everything you read is true, claiming the team simply wanted more time for the match, and when they didn't get it, they walked. So they did confirm that, I guess she confirmed that, hey, I did walk out, but not for those reasonings per se, more about time. I will say, I think this was the first time they had 3 women matches on Collision, so maybe that's why they were short with time. Reminds me of the WWE days. Remember all the divas used to say that? So I think they mean, I guess, according to Tegan, the green-headed one. I think that is her. Again, I haven't seen her in a while, but I've seen her before, so I think I recognize her more than her girlfriend. But Tegan, yes, allegedly it was due to the time. They did not want to go if the time was shortened. So I do see it on that viewpoint, but at the same time, you guys are just debuting with that company. You guys don't even have that much time invested into AEW for you guys to be walking out. So I don't know if that's a good look for them if they want to continue to get booked, but oh well, we shall see what happens. This has brought a lot of clicks and views. I guess with AEW and their viewerships, no shade. Any kind of news is great news. Let's just be real. Any kind of news is great news for them. So, yeah. So let's talk about the next person in the hot seat. It is the lady that is on my thumbnail, the EST. Do we miss her yet? A lot of us are already saying, hey, with Jay Cargill winning that championship, here goes your next competitor. And here she goes. Her beat is done. Love the makeup on her. Love it. I have no complaints about this look. Very cute. Love the nails. I like fashion and makeup, so that's why I'm critiquing. So I love the hair. Nice lip color, nice makeup, nice championship. So I don't know where she was, but she's looking fabulous. But we are talking about Miss Bianca Belair and WalkCulture.com. New backstage update on Bianca Belair's WWE return. This was posted November 7th. Today's November 9th, y'all. Happy Sunday again. Please like and follow YouTube. I post for some news at least 3 times a week. I don't say it that much, but I do have to remind myself if people follow, I gotta announce it. So please follow and like, and those that do, thank you. So Bianca Belair has been gone for a while, so let's read this article. WWE heroes believe that top star Bianca Belair will return in the early stages of 2026. Okay, now I don't even want to read this shit, but it is November, so December. We only have 1 month of 2025 after this. Can you believe that, y'all? Currently, there are some backstage in the office who are optimistic that the EST can actually beat that projected timeline and launch a combat on Raw or SmackDown even earlier than that. Okay, a lot of speculations. Again, I thought it was her finger that got injured, but okay. Eventually, she's gonna get knocked up if she's just staying at home. You know me, I keep it real. I mean, if she's at home, her husband's there, he's not really getting booked that much. She looking good, she looking good. Come on, we all know they gonna get it on and popping. So, I hope that isn't the case if she wants to come back. But hey, if that's what she wants, that's what she wants. We do know that was pushed a lot in that reality show, that Hulu show. Well, I watched it. That was one of the actual wrestling shows outside of wrestling that I actually invested in. Kind of like the LFG. I still haven't watched the first season of that, the competition show. Kind of like the Rivals. I haven't watched that yet. Maybe 1 or 2 episodes, but the A&E Rivals, I would love to come on here and talk about that, but it's just so much content they have. So I did take my time to watch her reality show, though. Oh, I thought I missed something. But yes, eventually she will get knocked up if she's just in at home. But Body Slams report that folks behind the scenes think Bianca Belair injured last since breaking a finger during a critical landing. No, during a critical triple threat bout with Rhea Ripley and Io Sky back at WrestleMania 41 in April. I didn't realize that's how long ago she got injured. I didn't realize it was back in WrestleMania. You know, it's kind of like a blur at this point. Bianca has been backstage for selective recent WWE shows, but she's obviously hasn't appeared on camera as of yet. That's likely won't be happening at all until she's ready to make a full comeback and get stuck into storylines again. On the front, there's still some unfinished business between Belair and old pal Naomi, who's currently on maternity leave. Speaking of maternity leave, she could join her. Again, if she's sitting at home looking good, Montez Ford sitting at home looking good, he's not getting booked that much, she's at home for injury. Come on now. That likely won't happen. And fellow ex-tag team star Jade Cargill just turned heel before becoming the brand new women's champion. I feel like this will be the match at WrestleMania. I will put a picture up. Why I say that, I remember this very, very clear, this standoff, and how everybody was crazy for this. So let me put this right here. This was what, last year, I think, when Jade made her way in the Royal Rumble. Let's put this up. I remember a lot of people were already saying, oh my God, we got to see these two girls wrestle. Again, we already know when it's two black people. I'm black myself, and they're similar. We always want to see them face each other or compare them. Kind of like Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, and Lil Kim. It's always the females they like to do that with, where they always want to see them either fight or be against each other. But this is the match they want to see right here. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Who would go over in that match? I don't know who would go over in that match. I think Jade, if they are really trying to push her, they would give it to Jade for her to beat the EST. This would be something good for her. But again, Bianca Belair, I don't know if she would lose to a Jade. So, again, I don't know. That would be a great match, of course. Two powerhouse, beautiful black Amazons. But who would go over? So, we have that. Bianca Belair. Don't see her coming anytime soon. Who really impressed me this week in wrestling? What show will I say? I would have to say Raw. Impressed me. I would have to say I liked Asuka. I like her heel gimmick. I like that she won. I think I recall. I do like what happened with Logan Paul and the Vision. I don't think they're going to be a faction together with Logan Paul, the Vision. I think Logan Paul is just currently helping them for Survivor Series. You got to remember, War Games, isn't that coming up soon? So I see him just being someone that's helping them. Or heel versus heel. You have to get the heels working together somehow to be a tag team. So, of course, we are planting the seeds for this tag team. So, let me put them on the big screen because, again, I'm trying to get a little bit better than this. But do we want to see Logan Paul and him join the Vision, such as a Paul Heyman and them? Do we want to see Logan Paul in that position? I feel like he's a star in his own name. He doesn't really need that group. I mean, yes, Seth Rollins didn't need it either, but allegedly, Austin Theory was set to join the Vision before Seth Rollins got injured, so that put a dent in the plans. And they said someone else replaced him. So we have Logan Paul. Again, I do not think he is going to be a permanent member of the Vision YouTube. If we think he's even a member, I mean, maybe we can consider him a temporary member, just an ally, or just someone that's currently involved. But I don't know. After they do their thing in War Games, it depends. If they win as heels, why would they continue to work together? But if they lose, why would they continue to work together? If they lose, they may start to dislike each other and go against each other. But if they win, what will Logan Paul do with the Vision? I mean, Logan Paul clearly wants to be WWE champion, so I don't know with him being part of the Vision how that would help him. When you actually want Braun Breaker to be the champion, or you want Seth Rollins to be the champion out of the group. I mean, that's what we're seeing being pushed. Bronson, he's not really being pushed as World Heavyweight Champion. He's more of a side character, someone that's just part of the group. It's helping him be relevant by being part of the group with these bigger stars. But he's really never the vocal point of winning that belt. So again, with Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins, I don't really know where Logan Paul would fit into this. I mean, I guess Seth Rollins got injured, so he can replace Seth Rollins, Logan Paul. But again, I don't know where it's going to lead. NXT, I guess that was okay. We did have Lash Legend. Let's talk about that real fast. She did make her SmackDown debut. I will say the SmackDown women's division really doesn't have that much to work with, unfortunately. They don't really have that many people to work with, so this was a good call to bring Lash Legend. We already seen B-Fab kind of having some attitude with Jay Cargo, which I'm like, oh no, this just shows you like how little that SmackDown roster is if, out of everyone we have B-Fab actually stepping up to Jay Cargo. It's like, really? We really don't have any women at all. Okay. But here goes them two. I feel like it will help Miss Nia Jax stay relevant. What I mean by that, she has someone younger than her actually working with her, so I do feel like she will stay a little bit relevant by associating herself with the Lash Legend, who just came from NXT. We have to remember Lash Legend is not a former women's champion of NXT. She's someone that's been there a lot, but she's no one that is a former champion. A lot of people are a little scared that she may be the next Carmelo Hayes, someone that had such a good showing, which I don't really know we can say that for Lash Legend these past months. She's been more a background character, not someone really the vocal point. But same sentiment. A lot of people are afraid that she's going to be next, who's not going to be pushed on the main roster. Her kind of attacking Alexa Bliss kind of reminded me of Chyna when she made her debut and she was choking someone from the crowd. Kind of gives me the same vibe, just choking someone and you're part of the crowd. But again, you can't really change debuts, or you really can't come up with new debuts because there's been millions of debuts. So sometimes kind of reusing something or using something similar, you have to, because how many times is someone going to debut. They always do. They always will. There always has been people. So she looked great on the red. The red, I see they're trying to be a team. You see that? The red. This is good for the tag team division, I guess. I noticed with Charlotte and Alexa Bliss being the champions, they are trying to make those belts relevant again. I will say the last time they were relevant is when the Iconics had it. That's really rude. I know that's really rude to say, but it's the truth. When the Iconics had it, that's when it felt really, really important. They really lost the vibe of the tag team belts and how serious they're supposed to be taken once they lost the belts. I feel like we had a lot of makeshift teams win the belts. I mean, maybe a Ronda Rousey and a Shayna Baszler. I was hoping maybe they had the belts at one point. Those two MMA fighters, they clearly are a tag team in real life. They clearly do have chemistry. I was hoping maybe they would win the belts when they were interacting together or were on TV together, but that never happened. But these two, I can see them if they like keep teaming and actually become a real tag team and not just teaming for the belts and then once it's over they're done for. If they stay together or they build some chemistry, I can see Lash Legend and Nia Jax making that tag team championships belt feel important. Let's go on to some more wrestling news real fast. Let's go on to some... Oh. Okay. We have Thunder Rosa. Basically, this is some news for Britt Baker. I mean, if you are a Britt Baker fan, we all know that her and Thunder Rosa really weren't the best friends, really weren't fans of each other at some point. We don't know now because it's been a couple years since that. But we do have this with this article I'm about to read. So it's on the big screen for you guys, so you guys don't think, so you guys have my sources of what I'm actually reading. I hate when it comes so big. Like, my gosh, you don't have to cover the whole screen. But, Jesus, I'm not even saying anything bad about these girls for them to be blocking me. Okay, almost done. But Thunder Rosa, it's time to finish the story with Britt Baker. So clearly she wants a piece of her. We all know that a lot of people know that there is bad blood. I think that was part of AEW All Access, the reality show. Again, I don't really watch that much outside of wrestling weekly shows, but I did watch that because it was AEW's first reality show, and I like reality TV. But Thunder Rosa would love the chance. This is WrestlingNews.co. Thunder Rosa would love the chance to step back in the ring with Britt Baker, but is unsure if that will happen at an AEW event. Oh, that's a little shade. She doesn't even know if it's going to happen at an AEW event because she may not even know what's going on with her status. During a recent appearance on Matt and Mayhem, see, I thought she was going to say this and I'm busted open, but I guess not. Rosa was asked about whether she and Baker will ever resume their rivalry. Again, it's not up to me. It's not up to her. It's up to the people above. And that's above my pay grade. I would love to. I think it would be a good idea to close that chapter on her story and to do it right. That's what I'm saying. It's time to finish that story. While Rosa would love the chance to finish the story, she was quick to acknowledge that the decision is out of her hands. It's not up to me. It's not up to her. Rosa added that booking decisions are above my pay grade before reflecting on what continuing their feud could mean. I think it's a matter of respect, right? Like, she might feel disrespected. She wants to get that respect back from the locker room. Rosa and Baker feuded in 2020 and 2021, and it was Rosa who ended Baker's reign as the AEW World Women's Champion. Earlier this year, Rosa challenged Baker to a hair versus hair match at AEW All in Texas, though the challenge went unanswered. Baker has not wrestled for AEW since November 2024 when she defeated Penelope Ford on a episode. Okay, so it's about to be a year, or it has been a year because we're in November 2025 at this point since Britt Baker has wrestled Ford on an episode of AEW Dynamite. That match was just the fifth match of the 2024 for Baker. Should Britt Baker make a return to AEW TV, though Thunder Rosa will be waiting for her. Okay, so we still don't even know what's going on with Britt Baker. She's been gone for a while now, so again, we don't really know what's going on with her. But I do want to talk about TNA news. This is so crazy. I can't. I already said this before. This is the whole point of this damn partnership where WWE like test runs and their favorite people that they want to maybe join them, they keep showing them on NXT, kind of like a test run. You know, they keep using them until obviously their contract's up, and then that's when they permanently sign them. So here's the next person that could be Dean from TNA. Again, TNA keeps trying to put all their eggs into WWE by having all their people go to NXT, and this is where it leads you. Hey, Poe, how are you? Happy Sunday. We were just doing a little gossiping. How are you? How are you? Right now, about to talk about Leon Slater. Okay. So this is from PW Mania. According to Sean Ross Sapp, the latest edition of the Fightful Select Answers, Corey Burnett recently reported that Leon Slater's contract with TNA is currently set to run through the fall of 2026. Slater initially signed a multi-year deal with the company. He announced during a TNA Impact TV taping in October 2023 that he had signed a long-term contract, suggesting he signed a 3-year agreement. Sapp also noted that Slater is already well-liked within WWE, having made a positive impression on WWE officials during his visit to the shows and while working with their talent. The reputation will likely give Slater many options once his current TNA deal expires. Slater has made several appearances in WWE NXT as part of the TNA and NXT crossover. Notably, he teamed with Devon Evans in last month's NXT Halloween Havoc PLE, where they secured a victory against the AAA team La Parca. Additionally, Slater successfully defended his X Division championship against Shannon Stacks on NXT TV. So again, they keep featuring him. Clearly, they are a huge fan of him, and clearly they may want to sign him. What do we think about this partnership? Is this partnership something that WWE can use to get more people to join them? And it's kind of like a test run. Hey, let's see how you do on WWE TV. Did you like the experience? This is just a taste of WWE. Did you like it? The talent, I did like it. Okay. So it kind of gives both parties a taste. It gives both parties a taste. It gives the wrestlers a taste because they are seeing how it is in WWE with the NXT experience and the backstage and the camera work and the production, kind of higher and more glamorous than the TNA production and camera crews, things of that nature. And the backstage is way different, but it's not like Raw or SmackDown, the main roster, where it's big time. But they are getting a little small taste of TNA stars. And we can see once the TNA stars get a little taste of that WWE life, they go and they end up going to WWE. I mean, with Joe Hendry, we're barely even seeing him on TNA Wrestling. So he hasn't really wrestled much. No, he has. But this is something example. I'm on cagematch.net. It has wrestlers and their matches. And here goes Joe Hendry. So Joe Hendry on November 8th, Javon Evans, Joe Hendry, and Tavine Heights defeat Darkslade. That was in NXT. Then we have the match prior to that. So remember, he just had an NXT match. The match before that in NXT, he was part of the Triple Threat match. Triple Threat mix, Joe Hendry and Kendo defeat Anthony Lukes and Maximum Dupree versus Ariana Grace and Chanel Lorenzo. That was in the NXT live show November 7th. So November 8th, he was on NXT live show. November 7th, he was on a live show. October 4th, this is a match prior, his last match. Joe Hendry defeats Culture James. That was in NXT Live. And then his match prior, back in September 27th, that's when he faced Eric Young in a TNA match. He was on TNA Impact, and then No, wait a minute. Yeah, I guess that was TNA Impact, the TV show, September 27th. Then we have September 26th. Joe Hendry defeated Eric Young at TNA Victory Road. And so he had 2 matches in TNA recently and 3 matches in NXT. Then we go back. The match before that, he was in NXT again. And then that was September 23rd. Dark State defeat Chase U and Joe Hendry. So again, he's in NXT TV. Before that, September 13th in NXT live show, Dark Slate defeats Hank and Tank and Joe Hendry and Shalon Hill again. So as you see, he is in NXT more than he is in TNA, even though he's a TNA wrestler at this point. So clearly he is going to WWE because he's barely even on TNA programming, Joe Hendry. Very obvious. I love that he can appear anywhere, but it's only NXT at this point. Like, I can appear anywhere, but I'm only showing up in NXT. Like, that's so old. TNA will be number 2 once again. Yeah, Chelsea Green cheated. Julia got screwed. Yeah, unfortunately, we can talk about her real fast. Julia, and welcome. Nice talking to you. Julia, I don't know. Her reign sucks. That's all I can say. I just have to be honest with you. Her reign really didn't do anything. I know she's the longest reigning U.S. Women's Champion, but it doesn't really mean anything. You didn't really defend that title. She barely defended it, and I think she only defended it against Minchin and Zelina Vega. So, again, not really much if you're defending it against 2 people and you only defend it once against them. So maybe she can go back to the drawing board. I don't know if they know how to book her. They know how to book Stephanie, but her, they don't really know how to book Julia. So let's do this. Again, we have Miss Zelina Vega challenging Julia. Again, this is like supposed to be like so badass. Like, I'm such a bad bitch that I have to face Zelina Vega. I mean, it's always the same people with the United States Women's Championship. You gotta be real. It's always going to be either Zelina Vega trying to challenge for it, or a Minchin, or a B-Fab. It's always going to be them 3. Chelsea Green, I would say her at some point, but sometimes she has different storylines going on that she's not going to be a U.S. title chaser, but we all know that Chelsea Green is obviously going to face Zelina Vega again at some point. We all know she's going to face Minchin at some point. We all know that she may face Julia because Julia will want her rematch. So again, it's always the same women just fighting for that same title. It gets a little boring at this point. But Julia deserves a rematch. They should have restarted the match. Okay, see, speaking of rematches, see, there you go. So there goes Chris. So again, I see that happening. Again, they don't really have a lot of women on the SmackDown side. So I do see a lot of these rematches, triple rematches, and this time I'll put this on the line. I see a lot of that going on. Because they just don't have the opponent, so they're going to keep doing that. I guess we can talk about Rich Holland real fast. It's a little cold. I'm sorry, and it's a little cold in here, but let's talk about Rich Holland real fast. Him and these donations. Allegedly, he didn't know there was a GoFundMe for him, even though he complained that he couldn't pay his mortgage. And now, after like 2 days of people donating, now he wants to say he didn't realize that people were actually donating for him, and he's going to work on that. I don't know what that means. He didn't say he was going to return the money. He just said he's going to work on it. So I don't know. I mean, I would think that if you go on the internet, you would see there is a GoFundMe, but apparently he didn't. So let's talk about him real fast. A lot of people associate him with being the one that injured Big E. Let's be honest, they always say that. They always say, well, he's the one that injured Big E. So, that being said, let's talk about it. Okay, so yeah, I do like that he is champ as well. Okay, let's do this. Give me 1 second, because now this little, on this MacBook, this little thing that I have to plug in more than one thing, because apparently the MacBooks, they don't like you to use USB, so you have to have a little adapter to plug more than one. But I don't know. I always have to keep restarting it, and it's getting a little old at this point. Like I have to keep like resetting stuff every time I use this thing. So okay, so now my actual microphone, the bigger one is working because now I can see it, but that's 40 minutes within this video. Kind of like every time I have to go on live, I have to keep on resetting my camera because this USB thing barely wants to work. You have to keep on restarting everything once you use the adapter. If you use two different, like these USB converter things, they won't fit on the side of your computer both at the same time, so you got to get a USB adapter. But then when you plug in things into the USB adapter, instead of you just plugging it in and just starting, it always makes you restart it and change the settings again. So I have to do that every live for it to work, apparently. But you probably can hear me a little bit better now since my USB thing, I just had to restart it real fast while talking. Now I see it is, and this is going to be annoying having to do this, but I guess I have to try to do that 10 minutes before I go on live. TNA stars should invade Raw and SmackDown. I mean, that would go, that would happen. You have to remember, I'm someone that remembers things. This announcement, they lied. Remember, they told us allegedly this was only for NXT and TNA, but we have seen time and time before where they lied, and it is the main roster being involved. We did see that with Joe Hendry being at WrestleMania. I think the start of the partnership was Jordan Grace going into the Royal Rumble. I do know Mickie James did that before her, but I'm saying the partnership. Well, I think it happened right after she joined that Royal Rumble in 2024. That partnership happened because remember she went to NXT to face Roxanne like 2 months later. But we shall see. We shall see. This is your wrestling gossip. What's going to happen with the women's championship, y'all? What is going to happen? Where do we think? I don't know. Where do we think this is going to lead, the women's championship? I don't think it's going to lead to anything, to be honest. I think it's going to be the same old, same old. It's just going to be with Chelsea Green. Again, she's holding 2 belts at this point, so her main priority isn't on one belt since she has more than one at this point. But still, she can make that belt feel important, but I don't know who she would even face. Again, Zelina Vega, I don't know if we want to see that again. I don't know if we want to see her face Michin again. I'm so mad that I just fixed this microphone like 40 minutes within. Like, this is like towards the end of the video, but annoyed. There's always something. You always got to do something. And that gets tiring. Always having to edit something, maneuver something, shift something, fix something, do something. There's always something, child. But, let's see. I still support Chelsea Green at a certain point. Why don't you support her before I get off live? Did she say something? I remember she was in hot water at one point, right? For doing something, but I forgot what she did. Was it because she supported Rich Holland and donated $1,000, or was it because she said something? I remember she said something and got hot water, but I can't recall what it was. Where she tweeted something. I'm trying to look, maybe I can see it, but why don't you like her? Is it something that she did? I remember something was tweeted, but again, I don't recall because I don't really follow her that much. on her social medias. I see her husband's on social media more than her. Probably because he wants to get his old job back in WWE. It's very clear he wants to work there. So I want that for him. Oh my God, this is a lot. So let's see. Anything else worthy of gossip before I get off real fast? Chelsea Green tweets. Let me just look that up real fast. Maybe there's something that she did something. Oh. Thinking now that I think about it, I think it was something to do with her talking about Hulk Hogan, right? Oh, I guess she was saying politics, views aside, he was an absolute icon. I think she said something like that on her ex, and I remember she deleted it or something, and she got a lot of slack, or I think she deleted her Twitter. And then she came back after it died down. You know how it goes. You know, something bad happens or somebody exposes your ass. You leave for a little bit. You try to disappear. Like, I'm not here. I ain't here. I ain't here to respond because I got rid of my page. So you can't talk about me no more. Even though I know y'all talking about me because I'm still looking, but I just don't have a page. But I think that's kind of the scenario. You know, you get exposed and then you just leave for a little while and then you show up after months hoping people forgot. But I think that's why some people don't like her. Davis on his Sunday service said Paul Heyman will replace Triple H as CEO in 2 years. That would be absolutely a good move. I feel like that would be a good move. Paul Heyman does have the knowledge. I feel like it would be a better move if he was maybe co-signing and helping, but I don't feel like him just being the main one. I guess that's fine. Again, I feel like him joining with Triple H right now, that would make it very, very exciting. Paul Heyman has been in the industry for a while now, so if Paul Heyman does want to get involved with creative, that's good. I do know a lot of people were talking about Eric Bischoff lately, I think, joining, or was that Roos? Or was that Roos? But let's put Paul Heyman on here. I do know he said that allegedly Paul Heyman was telling MVP he wanted him to be the big next manager, kind of like he is. Paul Heyman, I will say, is one of the best managers to ever do it in history. He does deserve a Hall of Fame induction if he's not already inducted. I can't keep up. I thought maybe he was inducted, but he may not be. Okay, he was inducted. I do remember correctly. But it's hard because back in the day when you got like inducted, it was something like after you retired. Like after you retired, you got inducted. Now these days, they're doing it with active people. So it's kind of hard to remember like, did they get inducted? Oh, yeah, they are inducted because they are still active on the roster. Back in the day, it was you had your career, you had it. People remember you from it, and then you get that accolade as WWE Hall of Fame. But now they're doing it where I guess people had their careers, they went away for a little bit, they're still young, like in their 40s or their late 30s or even their early 50s. They get inducted, and then you see them again come back in like 2 years after they got inducted. And it's like, oh, okay, so you had this whole Hall of Fame speech, but your career's ain't over since you returned. So I kind of never get it when they do that, when they're inducted while they're still active, you know. You're not really talking about their career. I mean, their career's not over. I always thought the Hall of Fame was something you get after you had a Hall of Fame career. I didn't realize it was something mid-career. But Paul Heyman, there he goes, one of the best to do it. One of the best to do it. One of the best managers. So, we shall see. Is he good with creative? Being a great manager does not mean you know creative in the wrestling business like that to make creative pushes. But he could be the one that could fix that void where we're getting bored. He is part of the industry. He's been part of the industry, so he does have wisdom. I do feel like at one point he was the promoter of ECW, or he ran it, so he does have that up his belt. But again, creative, being a promoter, being a manager, all different roles. But I think I'm about to get off soon. I'm a little bit jet lagged and tired. Jet lagged is not a good term. I'm just very tired. Again, it's just so. It's snowing. It's dark. It's just so gloomy to the point I'm very, very tired. But it has been 50 minutes of me on here talking, so almost an hour at this point. I guess next time I will make sure the microphone, the USB one that I have that I bought, is on when I'm first on here, because again, I have a MacBook and they don't like USBs. You have to have a converter to use anything. And then the converters, if you plug more than one at the same time, it won't let you, because they will keep hitting each other to the point you can't have them both plugged in. So again, you have to buy these ports, these USB ports where you put it in your laptop, and then you have this port where you can plug more than one USB at the same time. But the thing about the port, it's not like the regular USB converter thing where I plug it in and my USB microphone is working as soon as I plug it in. No, I have to click the settings, click this, turn it back on, all in the program. I did notice before, like if I just don't do it with a USB hub and I just plug in something, it would just start automatically like I have done, like the camera. The webcam is the webcam, it's a USB one. When I plug it in with the converter, I have to adjust the settings to have me appear, but if I just plug it in with the USB converter without the USB hub, it will just work automatically and I'll be on camera. So, still learning this. Let's see, Andrade real fast before we go. Is there an update on him? Not really. I'm looking at news. No one's really talking about him right now. Someone saying that WWE allegedly does not want him to return. Even though they have a 1-year clause on him, they are not thinking about having him return back to the company. I mean, that's not really news. I mean, when you get fired from somewhere, usually that means they don't want your services. So I wouldn't know why they would fire him then, because he broke a 1-year... Oh, I'm sorry, because he broke his terms. They put him on a 1-year clause where he can't wrestle for a public company that's on TV. I don't know why a lot of these blogs are assuming that means WWE wants him back. That just means they are putting a halt on him for breaking the terms. But doesn't mean he wants to come back. Doesn't mean they want him to come back. But I'm about to get off of here. I'm about to head to my mom soon. It was nice talking to Anthony, Robert, Poe, as usual. Nice talking to you. Even though you left, I don't know, or you just said something, and then maybe he's like me, this weather's doing something. He really had not that much to say. Chris, nice talking to you. But I do love your opinions. I know you don't really like AEW, you make that clear, but I didn't realize you watch New Japan, so you are very versatile. I do like that about you. You watch all wrestling. But I am about to get off live. Paul Heyman, is this someone that should take the torch and be creative and make the creative plans? Let me know. Please like and follow. YouTube, thank you. Those that are watching the replay, please like and follow. I hope you guys enjoyed this gossip session. But Bianca Belair, we don't have no update with her. Bishop Khan, do we want more from him, or do we want him to just be that second man, part of the demand that is the most attractive one that some people look at, but they're more into Ricochet since his name value and since he's also handsome himself. The third guy, yeah, we kind of look at him, but he's just there. But Bianca Belair, we don't know when she's returning. Again, Paul Heyman, him being with Creative or eventually taking over Creative after Triple H in 2 years. I don't know about that. Together they could, but him alone, he would need a team. Maybe Road Dogg. I know they were shooting his name a couple of times. But we shall see what happens with creative. They did say at one point that AI was going to be involved. Yes, ChatGPT was going to make some storylines. So I don't know how true that is. Don't know. But this is Marquel's World. All things pro wrestling news and my life. YouTube. Thank you, thank you. I'm on X, Instagram, Blue Sky, and TikTok. Marquel's World. But this is Marquel's World. All things pro wrestling news in my life. We'll be live at least twice next week, maybe for a review of a show. I did Thursday, I did TNA, so I did that. I did TNA show before that. I think I did AEW, and then I think before that I did SmackDown. So I think I did SmackDown, AEW, then TNA. So who knows? Maybe if I have the mustard or the courage, I can do Raw. I think I did Raw at some point. Maybe that's what I'm thinking about. I think I did Raw that one time. Then I did AEW. Then I did TNA. I try to go with each company. I don't want to keep doing like every week you see me doing a SmackDown review, or every week you see me doing Raw and just WWE shows. Or was it NXT? I think it was one of them. But I will be back next week at some point. So much wrestling for a wrestling review, at least one for a show, and I'll be live for a gossip session. But again, this is Marquel's World, all things pro wrestling news.